Welcome, everybody. It's another edition of Fun Thursday Night, Ben's Brick Designs. How are you? I'm Ben. We've got Vab. We've got Johnny Builds. We've got Kodiak as moral support. We do something super fun tonight. So hello, guys. How are you tonight?
Hello, hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Let's see if we're still synced up real quick.
Yeah, let's see if somebody moves something.
I did. I moved the leg piece again. Oh no. No, I only see part of your wall.
Oh no. All right, well, we'll try it again. So what we're trying to do, hello Missy, good evening. Thanks for being here.
Howdy.
What we're trying to do tonight, and we just may have to work on this on our own, I guess. Because the sync isn't working, and I'll have words with Bricklink about it. So what we're going to try to do tonight is take the Dreamzzz bus, Mrs. Castillo's turtle bus,
The turtle van.
turtle van. Thank you, and turn it into a Nightmare set instead of a Dreamzzz set. So there are a couple sets that the Dreamzzz theme has that are technically Nightmarezzz. There's the shark boat. I think it's an alligator car. There's a wicked horse demon thing, I think.
Pegasus thing, yeah.
And they're already the Nightmarezzz, but what we thought would be fun would be take one of the more cheery ones, and I thought the turtle bus was probably the cheeriest of the group, and most whimsical, and turn it into a Nightmare too. So we thought we'd have fun messing around with it and just seeing what everybody came up with. We thought we'd try it in the build stream or the build together thing, but I don't think that's working. We could get a look at
Vabs. Try it once more. Mine has lost sync, so let me try to sync to you guys.
Yeah.
Vab, move a piece real quick just to see if yours is still.
Well, I can't see his either. Like he's taking your apart. So I don't think this is gonna work out. So if you guys want to save yours as a new file, just highlight it and do new and paste it in there, and then I'll close the other one to stop the host. I just don't think it's worth trying to keep building next to each other like this. We'll just kind of share the screens as we go, I think. So I'll do like Ben. And then I'll see if I can get on the forums, the Bricklink forums, and talk to people about oh, this is the beer tonight, by the way. Temptress S'mores.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Temptress is one of my favorite breweries. They're out of Lakewood, Texas. Or no, they're out of Denton. I think they're up near Dallas. Garland, Texas. Still up near Dallas. But it's Lakewood Brewing, and they are one of my favorite breweries because they brew things that taste like you've melted a handful of candy inside like coffee and then chilled the coffee and turned it into beer. So it's delicious.
As you do.
Oh yeah. Oh God, that's gonna give me diabetes. All right. Johnny Builds would like to share his screen. There it is. We got multiple screens going. Yay. Nice. So now, yeah, we can kind of minus the cameras of the three of us just chatting. These are all, so that's mine, and then I think Babs is the one with the giant workspace on it. He may have turned his own.
Oh yeah, he's
I have the blue on the top and bottom.
Okay.
The dark blue, so.
Oh, I got you. I see.
I'm above your head, Johnny.
Ah.
See what you've got going on.
That's
here.
not kid friendly, Johnny.
Ben's stream never said that he was.
I'm not. I'm definitely not.
We got the alcohol going and everything.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to close this, and I'll just say save it, and we'll get rid of it. And then can I say stop hosting? Because it's not working. It doesn't think I actually am hosting, so there's that.
Next time, you know what? We'll try it with one of us doing it, and we'll see if it's any different.
Yeah, see if it's better. That'd be great. Do you guys remember, was it Pump Up, or not Pump Up the Volume, True Romance? Do you remember True Romance?
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite movies, and Brad Pitt's in it, and he's the stoner friend. That's what I feel like the host for Build Together is. It's just like, oh, yeah. And
Right on.
while you're out, could you get some cleaning products and some better TCP protocols? Sorry, networking joke. All right, so while these guys are building, I'm going to be explaining what we're doing. We're taking this set and turning it into a Nightmare set. We have 2 hours to build it. It has to be actual pieces. It can't be like everything's turned to chrome. So these actually have to be pieces you can buy when we're all done. We have 2 hours to do it, and it has to kind of resemble the set at the end. So it has to be, if you look at it, you think, oh, that's just a play off that original set. So that's what we're doing. So we'll see what everybody does and how it shakes out. So everybody have fun.
That's the idea.
That's it. So I'm on the social networking channel Blue Sky. And it was the Twitter alternative, but it's like invitation only, so it's never really going to be very big. I think it's up to 700,000 users, whereas in like 3 days, Threads got like 10 million because they're basically importing all your Instagram accounts. So
I see.
The community on Blue Sky is a little weird. And I keep joking with everybody that it's mostly furries, trans kids, and people dunking on Twitter. Seems to be the primary focus. There's a lot of artists and a lot of yaoi. Am I saying that right? Artists.
Yaoi.
And there's a lot of scientists. So I'm trying to find all the people who are like, here's my research paper. I'm like, I will read your research paper. Handful of like kind of big name authors and stuff on there.
Cool.
So like it's very rare to get sort of any interaction unless you are a super famous person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the like QA accounts for the application posted, hey, what's something creative that you're working on right now? Let's show everybody and be supportive and all that kind of stuff. So I posted a picture of a couple of my Horizon sets. I was like, here's what I'm doing in my downtime. I'm trying to, get all these built from the game and everything. And I got basically Blue Sky viraled. I think I got 15 people liking it, which I think is like huge. I wrote it up on the web page at my desk at work, and then I went down to the server room to work on some stuff. And by the time I got back, I'm like, what is happening? This is crazy.
I should post my spider.
And I've got to stop talking and get to building, or else I'm not going to get anything done.
It's all right. I'm taking forever trying to just find the pieces I want.
All right, I should think of a color scheme. The Nightmarezzz stuff has primarily been like black and purple with occasional white pieces, I think. Is that an accurate assessment?
Pretty much.
Yeah, black, purple, all your basic Halloween colors, dark Halloween colors.
Yeah. The crocodile car is, I guess, technically not a Nightmarezzz. It's still a Dreamzzz.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like a bright red. Well, here. It's like a bright red car. How do I stop screen sharing? Entire screen. What does it do? Yeah, it's a bright red stock car. Now it has a little bit of Nightmare stuff with it. So
Right.
that's still purple and black and stuff. So why did this not even... There we go. But yeah, this is a Nightmare Shark ship, so that's purple and black. I'm wondering if it says Nightmarezzz on it. It just says Nightmare ship, so okay. So doesn't mean you got to do it that way. Just thinking out loud.
As you do.
Like you do.
So I thought y'all might be rather entertained by the way I brought Thomas the Tank Spider in to be displayed. Because Brick Slopes is going on for anyone who's unaware and in the Utah area.
Yay, Brick Slopes.
Yay, Brick Slopes.
Yay!
That being said, so I was bullied, I harassed, harangued even last year into building and presenting Thomas the Tank Spider in the actual convention. And part of that was, okay, I need to like bring it into the convention hall, set it up, do all the goodies, right?
Do all the things, yes.
And I was giving it some thought, and it occurred to me the only correct way to deliver this creation, this abomination, if you will, to the actual convention was to go to Petco and get a medium-sized dog cage. And that is what I brought the entire thing in with.
Oh man, really?
Yep.
Did you shake it a lot while you were coming in? Like, no, settle down. You know.
I wish I had now. But several people were eyeing me, realized what was
Missed
in there,
opportunity.
and went, "Oh."
Oh, I get it. It's a weirdo.
Yes.
And you're like, yes, my people. So I have a question for you, Vab. Since Johnny's only been using Studio for like a month.
I might have
Not
an answer.
even.
Oh, okay. Well, then either of you, when you're looking for pieces over here on their, I'm unfairly sharing my own screen right now. Sorry. Do you go through your palette or do you type in the piece name?
I just scroll.
Yeah, I'm just
scroll?
scrolling.
I scroll, and then I see if the piece is available in that color.
Oh, you got it sorted by color?
No,
Restricted?
not by color. It's literally it's under shapes. You go main and then shapes, and then I just go through and figure out what I need, and then if it's available, like if it's a 1x1 in black or pink or whatever, then I'll go and grab it.
Right on, right on.
Nice.
It's the best
But
way
I don't
for me.
I don't typically well, unless it's like a rail. And that's not even, I think, that's a technical term.
1x2 with a door rail on it.
Yeah,
That's a rail.
that's a rail. So, I mean, it just beats. I mean, there's certain things like that. I'll type it in because it's just a lot faster. Clips is another one.
Clips, claws, anything that I can kind of remember.
Yeah, anything basic. I mean, clips, and then it'll bring up all the pieces that have clips on it.
Yep.
So, because sometimes I'll need a. That's interesting. Huh. They took out all the 1x1s.
What?
Yeah, I just typed in clip. It's giving me 1x2 with clips. Unless I'm not seeing it, but yeah. Hold on. I typed it with an S.
Well, don't do that.
Clip.
There we go.
Oh yeah, multiple clips. You'll get that nice new 1x3 with 2 clips.
Yeah.
That's kind of smoking.
So, and then I'll just go through here, and they still don't have that new part that the lightsaber with all 3 clips on the end. They still don't have that up on here yet.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't wait till they get that in there. That's gonna be useful.
So, but that's basically how I do it. If I know what I need, I typically know what I need at that point in time. But then if I don't, if it doesn't work, then I pretty much have to scrap everything and go back and redesign it.
Redo.
As you do.
Oh man, I wish I had that. No, that wouldn't have worked. I was gonna say the new scalloped roof tile from the castle Hijime.
Hijime, yeah.
2x2. Have you seen those, Kodiak? The 2x2 tiles that are like
with the little
up on one corner.
I think I saw them on your story at one point.
Yeah, they're slick.
Yeah. Yeah, I took one look at them and I was like, these are neat. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but these are neat.
Hi, Zisu, and you are. How are you? Thanks for being here.
Hey, how you doing? You're underway.
So yeah, we're if you're coming in late, we're doing a fun thing where we're taking the turtle bus and we're turning it into a nightmare. So we got 2 hours to turn it into something creepy but still recognizable.
Recognizably nightmarish.
Right. Recognizable is something you'd want to actually steer clear of. Yeah, we wanted to do it with the build together option in Studio, but that thing is a POS, and so far hasn't worked great for us. So
we'll try it again sometime.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll rear its head again soon. And again, like we were talking about, it might be because I'm also streaming at the same time. But I mean, I've done OBS with music and looking up web pages and videos and stuff, and it really hasn't, impacted it. But it's throughput. Like just because it doesn't affect my computer doesn't mean it won't affect Bricklink's servers.
Right.
Zisu, how are you guys doing? How are things?
How are all the things?
The stuff, the things, Yeah, I thought I had something to follow that. I do not.
How the French say, I don't know what. She has how the French do say, I don't know what.
I don't know.
I got to use my favorite French joke on Beth, and it didn't even register with her.
Oh no, what was it?
So she's doing her new health journey, and it requires a certain change of diet. So she's eating egg whites instead of just eggs, right?
Gotcha.
Right.
And I was telling her she could make an omelet, and she's like, well, but I can only use one egg. And I was like, well, one egg is enough. And I've been waiting for that for like 25 years to be able to say that to somebody. And she just kept talking. And I think it was because we're on different sides of the room. She didn't really hear me that well. But I was like,
yeah.
You're going to tell me you didn't hear the one egg is enough joke?
You know?
Yeah, she's chiming in from the kitchen. Maybe it wasn't funny.
How could that not be funny?
How could it not be funny, Beth? Well, yeah. I don't know French.
Why do you think I have this outrageous accent?
Yeah. But I've been talking to you like this for so long.
Oui.
I don't understand. My wife, she has how we say the I don't know what. I'm not sure it was funny. God, all you non-French speakers, I swear.
I know. What the heck?
I don't feel like I need to explain it. That would be insulting. Replay me. Let's see.
I'm kind of first getting all the pieces out that I think I might need because it's just going to be easier for me.
Yeah.
And searching.
Not me, man. Going in. Let's do this. Come in
Come
purple.
on, studio. If you're gonna break on me, at least make it fun.
This doesn't come in purple? Are you kidding? Medium
Yes, I am
lavender.
kidding. But let me update your studio real quick.
Yeah. Please and thank you. That didn't come in that color. Dark pink, dark red. Oh, maybe dark red. Ooh, does this come in dark red? Aha. Dark red is a perfectly cromulent color.
Cromulent?
Oh, come on. You don't know cromulent? Beth.
Inherently not.
Cromulent. Perfectly cromulent word. You know that one, right? It's a Simpsons reference.
That would do it.
Somebody said cromulent as though it were a word, and they're like, use it in a sentence. It's like cromulent is a perfectly cromulent word. So, and now anytime you make up a word and someone goes, what? You're like, yeah, it's a perfectly cromulent word.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, like, I'm an unpublished author, and I've never heard this word. But
No, it's absolutely
that makes more
fictional.
sense.
So yeah. We are not working on different sections, although I think it ends up looking like that because I'm doing legs, Bab's doing head. Johnny's doing inventory. I'm not really sure what Johnny's doing.
Just
I'll get there.
combine all the best elements of the build at the end to get just this.
I've actually done that when I was doing some of the this guy. Doing this guy. The bellow back. It needs to be 3 different colors. So I was looking for everything that was like trans orange, trans light green, whatever, and I would just fill up the entire studio page full of just those colored pieces that I think I could work with.
Yeah, right, and that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to bring it up again, but it's perfectly cromulent way to build your digital thing. So yeah, this is Johnny's. He's doing an inventory of parts that he can use. This is mine. I'm currently working on the legs, just because it felt like an easy place to start. And then Vab is doing what looks like a lot of color replacement and part replacement for the lower half.
Yep. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Dang it.
I've gotten lucky. I've gotten very lucky.
With some of the part colors?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
I'm shocked
dark
some of
green.
these were in purple. I'm like, what?
Gotta love
Yeah,
that.
I've gotten a couple.
All these the fenders, these 1x2 with the horizontal clip. I mean, I'm shocked that they're even in dark green.
I mean, look at that. I can get them in dark purple, these fenders. That's crazy. This is a nice color, though. This sand green has always been kind of a favorite. The only problem I have with sand green is when I was doing the Capitol, I had 2 colors to work with. I had tan and sand green. And now both of those colors make me want to vomit when I see them in real life. Let's see. Oh no, Zeus, you can't watch episode 2. But you've seen episode 1. That's really weird. You've seen episode 1 together?
That's confusing.
Let's see. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about is bricks with prints on them. I think if you find a brick with a print on it, you could use it, right? It exists.
If it exists, yeah.
Be very funny to just fabricate something.
I mean, we have
for
parts
it.
designer. I'm gonna go put a face on this.
Yeah, that was something I was going to ask. And I was just like, if I have to create the part through Parts Designer, technically that's when it doesn't exist. So I think that should be a no.
Yeah.
I mean, it exists in your heart.
Well, it exists in my mind, but it doesn't mean it actually exists.
Well, see, that's the doubter in you talking. I think.
I mean, I could make a part in Part Designer and 3D print it too. I mean, then it would exist.
My son asked me that the other day. He's like, he got a 3D printer and he's like, so if you ever need any Lego pieces printed, and I was like, no, I try to stick with actual Lego pieces. And he's like, okay, I'm just saying. I was like, well, you know, I may take you up on that to print some straight monorail track.
That's actually not a bad idea because it is $30. I've been looking because I have to get to.
You got a full 6990 or whatever, didn't you?
No, some of the track is missing, but I got most of it. So I got to get 2 straight. But I got everything else pretty much, so I'm excited. I was just looking through it.
It's still one of my favorite sets.
Oh, I can't wait to build it.
I got that and the accessory track, the track accessory pack to go with it. So it wasn't, because the set by itself is very much like hill, turn, and it's like 2 straight track in it. And the accessory track comes with like 4 extra straight track and a bunch of hills and curves. So,
Right.
But at least it's a little more. But that's why they're so rare, is they didn't actually ever come with a whole lot of straight track.
Nope.
Initially.
Even the airport one didn't.
Yeah, they want height and curviness. They want it to look interesting. They're not thinking.
Same.
They're not. What's that?
I said, I mean, same.
Yeah. I want height and interestingness. I can work on one of those. But they're not thinking when they make a new monorail set or a train set that's like, well, we have to make these and accommodate all the AFOLs out there who are going to conventions and making giant displays.
No, why on earth would they market to their target demographic?
Well, they are now with weirdness like Lego Insider and the Lego Adult Group or whatever.
No. Okay, I'll be back.
It was
Somebody
just
won
playing.
something.
Dun, da, da, da.
Congratulations, you are now a winner.
Oh, wiener.
You are a wiener. Wiener, chicken dinner. Do I want that as a 2? Too big. This is fun because this is like, I'm not going to probably do much with the van itself, but this is almost right up my alley, making like legs and joints and heads and stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'm enjoying it. This is just fun to just be like, hey, we can do this.
Yeah, we won something. Yeah, they were both great. I will say they were good. I won't even say they were great. Episodes 1 and 2. As an actor, no, not even really as an actor. It felt a little, I'm not going to try to spoil it, but to me it felt a little like there could have been some tighter edits, or the director Filoni and I forget the Steph Green, the director of the second episode, could have encouraged their actors to maybe fill the space better. There seemed to be a lot of kind of looking off in the distance and slowly walking to a place, and it just nothing seemed like it was in a rush, and it felt really slow. Like maybe the pacing of the story itself was okay, but the scenes in themselves, I felt like sometimes would get to what felt like the end of the scene, so you're expecting sort of that beat to drop off and then go into the next scene, and it just lingered and lingered, and then like another action would pick up and you're like, oh, we're still here. So everything felt like a little drawn out, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm invested, but you guys are really pushing my patience.
You're like, I want stuff to happen.
Yeah. Seeing everything was cool. I think the high point was Hera in the Phantom going after the ship with Chopper. That's in episode 2. I'll try not to. Yeah. And you could actually understand him too. He's like, she's like, if we shoot that down, it'll fall in the city. And you can actually hear him going, and that would be bad. He's such a war criminal. It's so great.
He's like killed so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Chopper's the man. Well, the droid, whatever.
His line, have you been going through my stuff? She goes, no, I haven't been going through your stuff. And his hands are on his hips. He's like, have you been going through my stuff? You know. Okay. I'm stuck on what to do here.
Make a left.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to like pick a direction and do something. Yeah, I know people are gonna binge watch it a lot, and that's great. I am going to not, because I actually like the episodic stuff. I like when you have to go, okay, I'm gonna wait for a week until next episode. That thrills me a little bit. But that said, maybe that would have been good for this, because it's only going to be 8 episodes, so it's kind of hard to because I feel like with only 8 episodes you get excited and then it's over. It's not like going through old TV episodes where you get 20 a go. But it was pretty, I mean, it was, I feel like also, and I don't think a lot of people understand this. And I mean, I don't think it was that kind of big of a deal, but, has everyone who's going to watch it, so you are, have you seen Rebels? Before I go any further with this conversation. I want to make sure I'm not like, oh yeah, that's dumb and obvious. No, you haven't seen Rebels, and you're still watching. Wow. Bravery, thy name is you are. And also whoever you're watching it with, because there's going to be a lot of, well, who's that? Well, who's that? Well, who's that? Why is that important? Okay, well, now who's that? So I was going to watch it with Beth, and she hasn't seen Rebels. And so luckily she was like, no, I don't have any desire to watch Ahsoka. I'm like, really? She didn't see the Clone Wars either. So that was a little bit.
That makes it kind of tough.
Yeah. Didn't want, I mean, she's like, there's been a couple big Marvel movies that she'll go see, but lately, and it's funny because when we met, she's like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Hasn't seen any of the TV shows, hasn't seen, you know.
You know what that was? She lied to you.
No, it was. She was like, well, I thought I was a big fan until I met this guy. And I was like, I wouldn't even consider you a fan. I'd be like, you like movies, and you just happen to like walk into a Star Wars movie one time. I'm such a gatekeeper for that. Like, I get so... Huh?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm completely admitting to being a gatekeeper about Star Wars.
I was gonna say I'm waiting for the frying pan to come out.
Thung.
I just hear the comment from in there. Hey, what are you doing here? You should be at work. 30? Oh. I was like,
Jeez,
what?
Dang it. Like, come on.
Been called out. I fully admit to being gatekeepy about it, but yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, there is. But yeah, she's like, I don't have any desire to watch that. I'm like, okay. Which is the point I was going to get to, which is fine, because then it would have been, since she hadn't seen Clone Wars or Rebels, it would have been a lot of, well, why do we care about that person? Well, who's that?
Right.
And me cheering at stuff, and why are you cheering at that? You know, it's like, well, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that is cool. And if you'd watch these other shows, it would make sense. So if you don't watch the other shows, it's kind of hard to go. If there aren't a lot of like touchstones to pick up on, I'm trying to like set myself in the mindset of, is it a good show for non-nuts of Star Wars, you know?
Right.
And I don't know.
I think that's fair.
Ooh. Oh, they're just stuff with prints on them. Never mind. Got excited for a second.
Fear not, I have returned.
Dang
Welcome
it.
back.
I mean, hello.
I know. I can't get rid of me that easily.
That I can do in one piece. So it makes me really happy that you're just going to watch it for entertainment value. Pretty cool.
I mean, isn't that the reason you watch anything?
No, have you not read the internet? People watch it to hate on it later on YouTube.
Maybe I missed that boat.
That's how things are done now.
Look at this piece. There's like a big Technic rotor thing we could use as like the back end thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Giant.
Just color it translucent yellow.
Yeah.
I hate Star Wars.
I enjoy
You should absolutely watch Andor.
Yeah, I
If
still-
nothing else, Andor is amazing. Okay. Love you too.
We love you, Beth.
I am not a big TV watched. I am a big TV watched person. You are is channeling Andre the Giant.
I wanted you to feel you were doing well.
person. I love the story of him when they were doing Princess Bride, and he apparently had like 16-second fart, and when it was done, they're like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "I am now, boss."
Yeah, exactly. Feel much better.
It's so great.
That is good.
And only from him too. I mean, like he would talk about a
The
gentle
16-second fart would kill a normal person.
giant. Exactly.
I think it would literally empty out your insides.
It's so funny seeing pictures too with like Andre the Giant and I forget the other guy. They were in the Conan the Barbarian, and they showed both of them holding Arnold up because Arnold's a big guy and like he's dwarfed by these two that were in the movie with him.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, there's some big people out there, or were.
Still are, I'm sure.
Well, there are, yeah.
I am at a loss about this head, so I'm going to move on. To this thing.
Whoops, I didn't want to do that.
I'm on my phone. I can't type. I totally understand where you're coming from. It's like I use a lot of voice to text because I write a lot of big emails as the Lego ambassador, but I don't want to sit there and find a computer every time. So I'm just like speech to text on my phone. But I don't know who I'm kidding because I'm not saving any time by going back and having to correct everything that speech to text messes up.
My speech to text has gotten pretty good in all my time speaking into my phone while doing long road trips for work.
Yeah.
But even now, it thinks I say some fascinating things.
Mine, it gets all my words right. There are some words that obviously it won't get, like AFOL. I can't get AFOL, obviously.
Yeah. Right.
But there are some things too that just like I'll say one sentence, and I think it's a pretty good sentence. It's a perfectly cromulent sentence. But I'll look at it and there's like 7 question marks in it. I'm like, what? This was one sentence, you know?
Yeah.
What are you doing with all that ancillary freaking punctuation? What's the question mark, buddy? Not your buddy, pal.
Not your guy, friend.
Not your buddy, friend.
I just dealt with it. My one coworker who he was talking about that we have a guy that like whenever he wants to get a hold of someone, that's what he says. Hey, buddy. And it's like he got offended by that, and he's like he said that exact thing. He was like, "I'm not your friend, pal." It's like okay, all right. He's like, yeah. He was in the military. He just didn't want to take it.
Fair enough.
Not your buddy, sir.
That's right.
Comment anything? White? No, that's no good. Barb. Can't think of Barb. The part in here is called Barb. It's like a thorn barb thing, right? From a fence or a hook or whatever. But are you guys Letterkenny fans at all?
I am not. I don't
Okay.
know what that is. But you can talk about it.
We're gonna throw you a super soft birthday party.
I had a friend who did a super soft birthday party.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. It was a lot of cupcakes and cake, and we had a drag performer come over and sing music to us, and like it was amazing. It was the most super soft birthday. No, so there's a character in there named Coach, and for the first like season of the show, he was just the coach that came in and he would kick a trash can after the hockey games and go, "It's fucking embarrassing," right?
Fucking embarrassing.
Fucking embarrassing. And then he'd kick it and leave. Yeah. That was his whole shtick. And then you get to know him a little more, and you find out that he was married to this lady named Barb, and for a while, I think it was like as far as you knew him, she's been dead. Is that right? Do you remember that? And he'd always be like, Barb did this thing, or Barb did this thing, or something like that.
That sounds about right.
But it was always like some creepy thing, and then he would kind of like be like forget that other people were there and be really creepy about some action, and everyone's like, "Oh God, we gotta go." Shorzy season 2 is coming out soon, and I am here for it.
I am so far behind on Letterkenny, and a lot of shows for that matter.
Well, Letterkenny too is like one of those where there's no real like through plot. You can kind of pick up an episode here or there.
Sure.
For those not in the know, Letterkenny is a show that was on Crave for a hot second, and then it came out on Hulu. But you can see most of it on YouTube, and it started out with these things called "There are 5,000 people in Letterkenny. These are their problems," and it was just these like 10-15 minute, maybe even shorter bits. And it was mostly just the 3 groups. It was the Hicks, the Skids, and the hockey players. And the main character, Wayne, is a hick, and he has 3 friends and a sister, and they're all hicks. Hicks meaning they sit by a fruit stand and wait for people to come by. And it's mostly
interesting.
It's mostly them finding it's a very wordsmithy kind of show.
Oh yeah.
Where they will find a single joke and beat it to death. Right?
Tastefully so, but yes.
Oh yeah, and it's like brilliantly done. They're not like not crass beating it to death or like boring beating it to death. They like twist words in certain ways, and it's like slam poetry a little bit. It's like really quick, and
it is relentless.
And just when you think they're done with the joke, it's still going, and you're like, oh my god, you know. So it's a lot of fun. The main character is really Wayne's really funny, and he's this guy who is he and the director, because he's the creator, but then one of his other friends is the director, who's the priest, Pastor Dan or whatever.
Yeah.
He's the director, and the two of them are very Canada first, right? All the music that they play is like Canadian artists. All the actors are Canadian. The production is all done in Canada somewhere. Because Jared Kiso, the main character, he was a hockey player, and then he thought he was also trying to become like an action star and moved to Hollywood and tried to audition for some things. And he's been in a couple, like he was like a cop in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue or whatever. Like he's been small little action bit parts and things. But he's like, LA is the stupidest place. It chews you up, it spits you out, and it's worthless. So he basically came back to Canada and was like, I'm going to do stuff with my friends, and we're going to do like a Canada show, and it's going to be all Canadian people and all this stuff. And so that's kind of what Letterkenny became.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. And he's like a super interesting dude to like hear on an interview and stuff.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend if you want, or if you like that kind of humor.
Yeah, the golf course episode, I think.
Oh my god, with the ducks.
Usually with the geese.
With the geese,
ducks,
yeah.
It is the if anyone is like, where should I start with Letterkenny?
Yeah.
With episode 1, I'm like, no. That's not how this show works. You start with
and that's later too. The golf
duck
episode. That's a bit later.
From my understanding, I don't think it's second season, but it's definitely not in the first area.
Because it has it's got Coach.
I admit I am also I am weird about how I recommend my my episodes and the stuff that people should watch. So I acknowledge that.
So it's got Coach, and it's got the couple that's really weird, that's always trying to get people to swing with them.
Yep.
How you now? Not so bad, and you? God, what's his name? Anyway, and his wife, who's always drunk.
Yeah.
Gin and tonic. They're a treat.
They sound.
But
like
yeah, the golf course one's stupid, or funny. I'm with you on recommending stuff at a weird kind of thing, because there's a lot of shows where people will, and I've seen the shows they're talking about, want to recommend a show to me. And they're like, if you haven't seen it, you should watch this episode. And it's always like the best episode. Like, why would you recommend the best episode to me? Give me the worst episode. And if I'm still here after
somewhere to go,
I'll watch the show.
Yeah.
Doctor Who, people are always saying you should watch Blink. And I'm like, Blink's one of the better episodes. Don't start there.
Yeah.
Because then they're going to watch the rest of it and go, well, this show's dumb. You know?
Well, yeah, the rest of it sucks by comparison.
Yeah.
I'd wager I've never actually seen any Doctor Who.
How dare you?
I know. I'll turn myself in at the next opportunity.
I never try to get people to watch Doctor Who. If they're in it, they're in it. If they're not, I'm not going to make them watch it, or not even. I'm not even going to suggest it. It's just too much nerd.
It is major nerd. It really is.
Which is fair.
No, 100%. Like, if you're into it, I'm here for you, and I'll watch it with you. I mean, I went back and watched. So I've seen all Doctor Who, like from the 60s. I even went back and watched the Doctor Who missing episodes that they don't have video for, but they have the audio for, and they have still photographs from the production. So you can watch basically an audio drama with photographs.
Interesting.
Oh, hey, it's my videos.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's like still animation or something. And it's funny when they go back and forth, like when people are talking, they use the same photo like 4 times when they're going back and forth. You're like, ah.
Yeah. I at least try to do something different between the frames, but I'm also not here to knock, them doing what they can to salvage what is otherwise a lost production.
Right. And every year too, they're like, we found the lost episodes, and it's always like some dude who's like cleaning out his attic and suddenly found.
Right. Like, how about that? Huh.
And then it ends up being not the case. They're like, oh, it turns out it was, the same episodes as this and whatever.
Yep.
Whoops.
Don't get our hopes up.
Tell me how to live my life.
You're not my supervisor.
You're not my real dad.
Outlaw country, woo. So we have friends who come over once a week and we watch 3 or 4 episodes of Doctor Who because they haven't seen it and they want to, and they're very interested. And so they've really hung on because we've gone through Eccleston and Tennant, and we're in Matt Smith now. And I'm like, well, if you can make it through Matt Smith, you're doing really well.
Yeah.
But everybody's got their own thing. They're like, oh, well, I didn't like Eccleston and I didn't like whoever. And I was like, well, fair enough.
Sure.
All right. It's almost 9 o'clock. How's everybody doing?
I'm awake.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Good night, Mary.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
I don't think there's a good transition from maxi Ronies to regular size tails. There's this weird piece I don't think comes in black. It does not. I don't even know what that is, technically. This is dinosaur tail, but it's no good to me. All right, what's Bab got going on over here? Got a brown and green, multi-legged. Oh, interesting. I'm just looking at that now.
Can't show blood.
Yeah, you can't show blood. It doesn't align with Lego's values.
Oh no.
So, speaking of, we were at our lug meeting last weekend, and
As you do.
there was a newish lady who is, oh, she said where she's from, and now I forget. It's not China. But heavily accented. I don't think she's been here very long. She said she's only been here a few months. built Lego wherever she came from and wanted to find a place to do it here. So I'm like, oh, sweet. Well, this is great. I'm glad you're part of our group. But what I didn't count on is she's heavily religious, which fine. I don't really care because I'm not going home with you or anything, or you're not running for city council in my district. Like, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
But her first builds were a giant rainbow thing with a big cross on it, and then the ark with a couple animals.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And the way she was describing them was not like, I'm pretty religious and this stuff appeals to me, and so I just kind of built these. And everyone goes, okay, kind of thing. Because that's how we mostly talk about our models. We're like, here's the thing. And everyone goes, yay, thing.
Yay. Yep.
But she went on and on about a lot of Jesus stuff and a lot of love of God stuff. And I was like, okay, well, okay, good. All right. And I didn't want to cut her off and I don't want to say anything of it, but I'm like, I wish you well. To be fair, one of my favorite things is the Lego, when somebody rebuilt all the stories of the Bible in Lego. And it was just like little. It was.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? It was like 10, 15 years ago or something. It's just like, and it was not good. They weren't great models, but it was funny because they did everything right. And it was like little 16 by 32 vignettes with just like people on it and stuff. And it was just like, here's this verse, here it is in Lego. Here's the next verse, here it is in Lego. And they did like the whole thing.
I was like, please tell me they skipped Sodom and Gomorrah.
Nope.
They did not.
They did not. Everything's in there. I tried to look it up the other day and I can't find it. Maybe it's on like the Internet Archive or something to be able to find it, but
it has to be.
It was great. So, and I mean, also to be fair, her arc was really good. Like, it was very cute. It was only about this big. Noah was like 2 1x1 rounds together, and then like the zebras were like 3 or 4 plates, and it was cute. Like, it was really great. But I'm like, don't get out of a habit of building like super religious stuff, man. But Lego will shoot you down. All right. I don't think I want these doors.
What a weirdly specific memory for that to bring up.
I know, right?
Well, so I used to be in public school. I know. And part of that was, I think I was in it was either 3rd or 4th grade. And in history class, this kid did a diorama of the American Civil War.
Okay.
Except for whatever reason, he decided that the best way to demonstrate, what is otherwise like the muskets and all the other kind of like old-timey means of war,
right,
was to put 2 AH-64 Apaches, modern attack helicopters in his diorama.
That's funny.
And I don't know why you saying like Lego will shoot you down made me think of that.
Well, yeah, because it's really funny to me that so many people, despite Lego having their stance on no guns, no religion, no drugs and stuff like that, continue to do like brick arms, right?
Sure.
And because
I mean, I have a whole tub here of just their guns.
Oh yeah, and like, a lot of what people want is also I would love to have more fighter aircraft.
Sure.
Yeah.
But they're never going to do that. So it's like I just think it's so funny that that's what the adults want. But once you do that, then they're like, okay, well, that bit of value that we have is gone. So now what? Now do you make the Bible in Lego, or do you make the Quran in Lego, or do you like, and all this stuff? It's like, well, now can we have drug paraphernalia? And it's like, so there's the slope that they have to kind of keep, you know.
Sure.
Meanwhile, they're like, oh, but here's, you know, the stop with camel. It's like, that killed a lot of people, that plane.
on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 120 years ago. No one's going to remember it.
God, it was. Oh my God.
Yep. Really not all that long ago. Which is my main issue with the Fallout franchise.
Oh, I just saw a thing about that. So what's happening with that?
What is happening with that? I don't know.
Somebody said so I just saw a thing on like Instagram or something. It had a poster and it looked like, and then somebody said it looks like Amazon is using AI to generate images for the Fallout promotional stuff. And I was like, Fallout promotional stuff. Does that mean there's going to be a show or something? And that's about as far as I got. So,
yeah. Huh.
I've heard rumors of some stuff about like that idea. And yeah, it wasn't game related. It was, hey, there might be something like that. And it's like, okay. Could be.
Yeah, we definitely need to take a deeply character-driven story that has all kinds of elements that you, as you know, the player, engage with, and make an extremely streamlined, television-friendly version of that story.
Well, that's never been done before.
That is what we need.
Yeah.
I say, pinching the bridge of my nose.
Shaking your head sadly.
Yeah.
It's the same mentality of Barbie made $1 quadrillion across the galaxy. And the first thing Warner Brothers does is get the rights to like all these other toy and board game movies that they're going to make. And it's like, you guys didn't learn. It's not the lesson.
Nope.
Yep.
He says.
Say?
Oh, I saw Dune got pushed back 6 months. I'm really mad about that.
6 months isn't too bad, though.
No, it's not. And I honestly had kind of forgotten that it was coming out in November.
Exactly.
So when I saw the news, I'm like, hey, fuck you. And then I was just like, oh, well, I had forgotten about it. Which sucks, because Dune is one of my like favorite stories, and I loved the Lynch version and whatnot. So I kind of was like, bummer. And now I don't know if it's because the strikes or maybe it wasn't really done.
Well, they can say whatever they want now and be like, and people are like, oh, okay. And be like,
yeah. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
Out of curiosity, Vab, do you know about the select all attached hotkey?
Select all.
So select all attached. So I watched you like drag the box to select all the pieces for the two slopes and the brackets.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But if you, okay,
I have my own way. It just works faster.
and if it works faster for you, great. I just wanted to inform you if you weren't already aware.
That's why we're here. Johnny doesn't know that.
I know nothing. I'm just
He is like a babe with a smooth brain.
Yeah, so Shift V is going to be your friend, Johnny. So that'll select you through. The first one it comes up with is select all by color.
Oh, we did go over this.
And then,
yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Then if you continue to hit it, it does like all connected, and then all of that type in different colors, and then just that single type in that color.
Yeah, interesting.
The note I make is it won't select anything that's already inside of a submodel because Lego considers the submodel to be its own piece.
Mhm.
Right.
So keep that in mind if you're like having to recolor a bunch of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Lots of different cool
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
And yes,
And
the Shift
lots
V
of
thing
stuff
will
to
be
learn.
super helpful.
Oh, is the rice already done? Okay, hang on. I'll be right back.
Hey, the rice is done.
Hey, I think the rice is done.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa!
Well, so far so good though. I've kind of got the look that I want.
Yes, Missy was there at the meeting. Sorry, I just saw that. The arc was very nice. UR says, that's an awesome book. I have it. Cool.
What book?
I'm guessing the Bible. We were talking about the Bible.
That is the best history book in the world.
It is. It's a very good history book. Yes. Anyway.
I have that book too. It's called The Silmarillion.
That is a tough read when you first
Oh
start.
God, it's a tough read. I've read it 3 times, and every time I do, about halfway through, I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
Lego version of the Bible. Oh yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine if somebody did a Lego version like we were talking about, but with the Silmarillion? Oh,
That that would be interesting. How you would make. What am I trying to say? How you would translate what it says into like visual. You know, it would be kind of.
There's
very,
a lot of
very interesting.
nebulousness and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what is that? Oh, that's entirely too big.
I don't know if they have purple Technic pins, but I don't care. I'm going to use it.
Hey, has to be real.
It says.
Or
Yeah, it says.
It said it is?
It hasn't flagged it.
Really?
Yeah.
Neat. I'm sure it's $38. Vab and I are like, hey, no.
That one I gotta change. Where is it? Oh, that one.
There's a show on Amazon I was very excited about called The Peripheral, and they canceled that, so now I have to go read the books.
Aw, that's sad.
Yeah, I saw the news the other day. I was like, oh man.
it wasn't woke enough for
It wasn't what?
woke enough.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe my fun at TNSA we were talking about how Disney was race swapping a lot of the stories. So we went back and actually looked at all the folklores to each of the Disney princesses that are being on. Now, with some of the stories, you can't really race swap. You can race swap certain characters, like maybe the prince, and whatnot, but like Snow White, no. Because it literally, her skin's white as snow. That's the whole thing. And then, but a lot of like Cinderella, that was, I believe, Northern Europe into Russia territory. That folklore came from there. But it was a commoner. Cinderella was a commoner. She wasn't a princess. She was a commoner, a very beautiful commoner. So what's to say that can't be raceable? Or a mix, or whatever. Same with the princes, unless they were based on specific prince. What's to say that a Mid-Eastern prince didn't come up from the south because of heavy trading?
Yeah.
So I think Disney has an idea with it, and they're playing around with it, but I think they need to just look at it and select and be like, okay, this is the stuff we can't change, and these are the stuff that we can. And it's technically not changing history. It's changing the folklore around a little bit. An idea of the folklore.
Yeah.
So we were talking about that, and we came up with a bunch of different ideas, but it should be done. And
that's cool. And that's the kind of like constructivism I could get behind when things are not great.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of what they should do. Like again, when you're changing folklore and stuff, it's like, well, if you want to have a certain race, certain ethnicity, whatever, find their stories, make that into a thing, that's the thing that really irritates me. And I know like things pop up and they're like, oh, well, we're doing this to include people. Include their stories. That's inclusion, that gets you new stuff. I mean, like right now it's like, oh, well, Snow White, it's been redone how many times now? It's been a couple different live actions in different ways, but like now, it's like another one, and it's like, it's not even Snow White, it's not even the dwarves, it's random, hobos, I mean, it's just it's kind of ridiculous. And it's like
random hobos. I love it.
I mean look at them. I mean, like,
yeah,
who was it? Peter Dinklage got all upset because he's like, well, look, you could have, they talk about, doing things for people that are certain whatever, and it's like, you just took away, what, they're fighting about, their jobs and things right now and stuff, and it's like, you just took away, jobs from 7 dwarves or little people, whatever. And it's like, you could have done things, and trying to be overly, whatever, you just completely, destroyed that whole, concept. It's frustrating.
Yeah, well, and that was the other thing that we talked about too, was, okay, why not go to South Africa and grab a lot of their folklores? I'm sure there's a lot of princesses and princes and stuff that you guys can do geared toward that area. But that's the one thing I have not seen Disney do. We don't hear any of these folklores coming out of South Africa. You got China, you have Russia, most of it's majority Europe, but you really don't see anything coming from there, or even, and there's one or two folklores from South Africa. And it's just like, well, why not from over there?
Because they're afraid.
I mean,
well, there is truth to that.
I mean, unless it's all copyrighted and everything, which I highly doubt it is.
I think there's a level of, if we get it wrong and it came from Italy, it's different if we get it wrong and it came from Rwanda,
Well, then you need to put the extra time and money to get it right.
And they're not going to do that. They're going to get it done as fast as possible. There's a great video about what the movie. It's late and my brain's shutting down. The Emperor's New Groove went through.
Oh yeah,
just to get done.
That was a fun movie.
And I love it. It's one of my favorite movies.
Gronk.
Wrong lever.
Yeah.
What they went through just to get it done, and then on top of it, there was constantly like, there's no way an Incan emperor would do this, or there's no way, there were certain things that they knew about, and they were trying to tell this certain story, and they were trying to tell like a Mesopotamian story versus another Western European kind of fairy tale, and they thought they had this great idea on how to do that, and in the process they ran into so many pitfalls, a lot of which were the cultural aspects of the story they were telling, but I mean they also ran into just like time and everybody's contracts, and the producers didn't want these certain things, and all the notes that they would get from everybody, and this that kind of stuff. But they did run into a lot of cultural things where they had great intentions to start, but it just didn't work out, and they had to change things, otherwise it would have been bad. I mean, Lego did that with Bionicle, where they had all the Maori names for the Bionicle stuff, and the Maori were like, you can't do that, we're here, we're actually a people, why are you doing this?
We are real.
Yeah. Stop screwing with our culture. So I think Disney, and to a lesser extent all other things that make giant children's stories, are probably just too afraid to put the time and effort into it, and then likely still get it wrong. But I'm with you, Vab. It's like all you have to do is like, well, then go get somebody from somewhere in Polynesia or somewhere in South Africa or somewhere in
Yeah, every country has historians.
Yeah, they have historians, they have cultural attaches, they have all kinds of people that'll help you with that.
I'm sure Walter Disney, that's what he did. That's how he came up with the Sword in the Stone. Original Snow White. This is all the stories that they came out of Europe. But these were also stories that were written and placed in books that he followed to almost a T. He just adapted it to cartoon version.
Yep. None of these are in black, man. Black. Doesn't work. Ooh, that's gonna be weird.
That's what she said.
Hang on, baby. This is gonna be weird. You said you got your shots, right? Oh my god, are those like giant red spider legs? I'm gonna focus on yours.
Yeah.
That's creepy. That looks like something Kodiak would make.
This is all Bionicle stuff.
Is it?
Well, what I was doing was I happened to be looking through my big giant bin, the second one that I had gotten from a couple weeks ago. I'm finally almost I can actually see the bottom now, but there's just so many pieces, and there is probably not quite, maybe a third the size of this giant. I'm not sure how many, got 30-gallon bin. A third of it is Bionicle stuff. It's just a ton of Bionicle, and I've never been into Bionicle, never used it, but the pieces are awesome. The things you can do with it, these giant creatures you can, and it is really a precursor to Ninjago and stuff, the way they've done things.
Yeah.
And
so I always run into wanting to use Bionicle pieces for stuff, but half the time I'm building and you know me, I'm usually building very small things.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, that piece is great, and then I drag it to the scene, and it's like this big, it's like this 5 stories tall, and I'm like, oh god, no, I can't use that at all.
You kind of have to see it first to see what it's going to be doing, but yeah. But yeah, I like how and it's going to take some time for me to get figure out what goes to where, because I don't have instructions for any of them, so I'm not sure what is what, but there's a lot of similar pieces that they have, like how their body, the torsos are always kind of the same, and the chest pieces, and then there's armor pieces you put on top and things like that, and some of them have these giant weapons that they hold and stuff like that. So lots of variety and creativity you can do with it. It's going to take time to figure it out.
Yep. I am kind of sad that they're one of the themes that I didn't get into, but at the time, because the story always goes, their Bionicle saved Lego. I'd always thought it was Star Wars, but it was because they had spent so much money on Star Wars.
Yep.
That it almost ruined them.
Yep.
But because Bionicle was so in-house that they were like, "Yep, we can do whatever we want with this."
Mm-hmm.
And the kids loved it. And I think it was probably the most successful theme of theirs that also turned into like a cartoon and a comic book or a whatever, like it had this whole multimedia kind of thing. And that's really what did it, is it built this following, and it built a narrative, and it built a culture. And
the advantage was they created their lore, they created their, they did all that stuff through it. And so that gave them, I mean, like, they could do anything they wanted with it. And that means they could, design things how they wanted. And people were like, well, now I can make an action figure that I can rip apart and turn into something else, which was a huge draw.
Yeah.
It enabled creativity on a different level, because they were bigger bricks, most of them, like you can see here, like these leg things, and this is my big thing, is like I have so many joints right now, which I'm loving, but like these little joint pieces and stuff, and like the way they fit together, and it's like, make it move and do stuff. And
yeah. And they really drifted away from that, from the mechs that were able to be as articulated and able to tell a kind of a cool story with it, to the Marvel mechs they have now, where like the knee joints are frozen. You can't pose them, you can't rebuild them a whole lot because pieces are so specialized.
Right.
You could interchange them, so if you wanted to mix and match a little bit, like with Bionicle, you could do that. I've always wanted to use Bionicle and Hero Factory. This may be dating me a bit, but I've always wanted to do Centurions. It's an old 80s cartoon with that kind of skeleton that you can build, that you can kind of attach stuff to. Centurions was this cartoon that there were 3 guys, and it was air, sea, and land, and there was a satellite in orbit, and
I know what that is.
And they had stuff beamed down to them that attached to their suits, and it would help them with whatever mission, right? So if the problem is it's very warlike. There's tons of missiles and guns and things like that, but like there was if the air guy had to go on kind of like a reconnaissance thing, he didn't have a whole lot of armament, but he had like a big engine, so he could go really fast. And if he was attacking a big target, he'd have like a bunch of missiles. And the land guy always had like a big chain gun on his chest and some treads, and they were turned into these vehicles of war, basically. But it was very cool that you could interchange them. And so even when I was a kid, I would build, I don't know if I have a big bracket like that, but like the big brackets, I think before you could put a neck piece on a minifig, we had these brackets, right? These were the only brackets we had. These big old ones, right?
Oh,
and
yeah. Yep.
What I would do is I would stick a minifig torso up through here, and then that was its backpack.
Okay.
So, I could put anything on here. I could put wings, I could put whatever, and so its little head would poke out that way, and its body would poke out. And then like you could attach stuff to the feet, like skis and wheels, and then stuff in their hands they could hold, like guns and stuff. But I've always wanted to do like a bigger version, and I thought Bionicle would be a great way to do it, because they've got like kind of those T skeletons or eye skeletons to start, and everything's got like a ball joint, and everything's got like a Technic hole that you can put stuff in. I was like, man, I'm like this close to being able to kind of figure that out. But they don't have exactly what I need, so I'd have to like kind of jury rig it a little bit.
Right. Yep. Nope, I agree.
I think we've lost all our chatters.
They're all sleeping. That's
yeah,
fine.
I mean, I don't doubt it. Ooh, whoa.
For what it's worth, I've returned and now have curry chicken.
Yay!
Congratulations.
I will I will mute so as not to be disruptive.
Come on, we all want to hear that.
I doubt that for some reason.
Ooh, it does come in red. Ooh.
Did you guys
Is there still people watching?
we got 2 people watching.
Okay.
Mine says
So,
3.
so no, we don't have anybody watching.
That's all right.
This is
They're
down
lost.
bottom. YouTube.
They are missing out.
Yep.
Oh, that looks wicked. Ooh.
I like how Vab's nightmare is like some combination of green. Which makes me really regretful that I made him sit through a fickle space thing. No.
Oh yeah, that looks good. I like that.
All coming out Millhouse. See, this is what Lego Masters needs on their Twitch channel. Is this people doing it digitally?
Yeah.
You got 2 hours or you got an hour, build something digitally. And it only shows up on their Twitch channel or their Instagram live feed or some or YouTube channel or something.
I think that would be a cool idea.
Well, I'd pitch it to them, but the only people I know to talk to are the stupid Lego Masters casting people.
You're a little bitter about that, huh?
I'm not. A little bit, but I don't know. I think it's just kind of crappy that you go back and ask somebody who didn't get in the first time if they want to try again.
Like, are you sure?
Be serious? They're actually putting masks on Lego minifigures now.
What?
Oh, that's been there a while.
Oh, really?
It's like a ninja person.
Oh. Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah, it's the Ninjago people.
But yes, they do have. I think they've got some minifigs with masks. And I don't know if it was a COVID thing. I think it may have been, or COVID specific.
Sure.
I think it's more like people with immunocompromised stuff. Might need
Just
this
like
as well.
just like wheelchairs or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like the skin conditions and wheelchairs and you know. God, this is a terrible joke.
Say it.
They really wouldn't have to try hard to cater to the folks with amputee stuff, right? Just take a piece off.
There. Oh, that's so awful.
We could. See, we could have been doing it this whole time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could take the legs apart too and be like, oh, Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, I almost spit out my water.
And then you add the little genie thing on it, right? You got magic legs. Lieutenant Dan's got magic legs.
Oh man.
Well, my whole channel just got canceled, so let's go out. Let's
I'm
do
sorry.
this. It's fine. Magic legs.
Good night,
Oh yeah,
everybody.
didn't think about that. Printed mask for Dr. Figs. That makes
That does
That
make
makes total
sense. Like
sense, thanks.
nurses and
yeah.
And the whatnot.
Um, Yeah, I think a lot of us were doing like, hey, it's Luke, and you pull his hand off, or hey, it's Anakin, you pull his hand off. Or, hey, it's every fifth person in Star Wars, you pull his hand off.
Yeah.
Right. See, that was the real problem with the sequels, was that Rey never lost one of her hands.
You know, I think everybody would have been okay with her doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, get to the end credits and just, what's your name? Rey. What's your full name? You know, a question that humans ask.
Right.
She goes, Rey Skywalker. And the other lady, like, no, you're fucking, you have both your hands. The fuck you talking about?
Yeah. You know Skywalker. I've seen them. They've been hung around here. A bunch of them got burned earlier.
There's something not right with us.
Do you want a list? I think
Yeah.
I think a list might be the most concise way to go about documenting.
That's right. Go out with a bang.
Oh, I need one more. One more. One more. Yes. All right. I put all the tiles that have eyes on them. In front of my thing. I thought I had 5. What happened? Or I thought I had 6.
Oh, that's right. I can do translucent with these. Woohoo!
Oh, I was going to put eyes on the front of this, like creepy eyes on the front, but maybe I should put little Ninjago heads. So it looks like I've stolen Ninjago people and just smushed them into the front of the car.
As you do.
Right. Like, get it.
I said, get in.
Oh, there's just one glaring eyeball. That'll work.
There you go. Look, we started getting all crass and stuff, and now it's 4 people watching.
Yeah, exactly. Huh. Well, that makes sense.
Yep.
Johnny, take off your shirt.
No, you don't want to see that.
Start stripping, Johnny.
Yeah.
Hey, this music is not good enough for me to do that.
Wait a minute. I'll get better music. Hang on. Give me a second.
Cody, I can give you $10.
Hey.
That's
I don't think you understand the buying power that you're bargaining with right now.
$10. Oh,
$10 whole dollars?
No, that's a
Um,
gift
Hold
card.
back.
so last night I was on a friend of mine. I was watching her on Kick. She's on this new platform, Kick.
It's
And
been around for a while. I didn't know they streamed.
yeah, so she's streaming on Kick now. And it's Goldie, Kodiak. You know Goldie.
Oh yeah, I know Goldie.
So
I
was watching her stream and
I guess I should say.
right. Yeah, you've been on her things.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But she
Hey, again, $10 is $10. That's all I'm saying.
exactly, yeah. So speaking of that, no, nothing lewd. But last night it's her Wine Wednesday, which is usually hang out, do puzzles, drink wine, whatever. She has a game set up for people that can join in and do a jigsaw puzzle, right? And it's super fun. And then she just sits there and listens to music and talks to people and whatever. But the whole time she was saying that a fellow streamer of hers was doing, it was her birthday, and hey James,
I
no
like
one's
that.
taking off their shirt. No one wants to see that.
Don't worry. Trust me,
Yeah,
I'm the first one not to.
Yeah, we're all good here. a friend of hers was having a birthday and she was streaming that night. And she had like a list of stuff like active streamers do, where it's like, this is my gift list, or this is my, and we're, you know, also raising money to get a PC and like all this kind of stuff.
Right.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. Stuff that I've never really been able to get into, because I'm like, I have a PC and a sweatshirt and a whatever else I need. So, because I bought it with my money that I got from my job, but that's not, I'm not a streamer.
Work.
So she had a thing up. She's like, let's everybody chip in $5 and we'll get whatever her name is, Amber. Let's say it's Amber, because I don't remember what it is. This cute sweatshirt. And it was like Kirby. It was pink. It was a Kirby sweatshirt.
Oh, Kirby. Yeah.
And she's a big video game Twitch person. She does a lot of Nintendo, a lot of Switch stuff. Probably doing Stardew Valley and whatever else, right? Zelda.
Yeah. To their credit, Stardew Valley slaps.
Oh, I've heard it's amazing. I've just never. I have one console and none of it plays the cute stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, everyone's like, it was going on for like 45 minutes, an hour. Nobody's like pulling the trigger to donate $5 to get a $35 sweatshirt. And she's like, guys, there's like 30 of us in here right now. If we each chipped $5, we'd get this. And I'm like, how much is this sweatshirt, Mel? And she's like, it's $35. I'm like, how about I just give you $35 and you buy the sweatshirt? And so like I went to the link she sent me and I bought it, and everyone lost their minds. They're like, oh my God, hero, what a dude, legend. And I'm is nobody, come on guys, $35.
Right.
And then I realized that not everybody thinks $35 is just like, I can just get rid of this. But almost like to shut people up from talking about this stupid sweatshirt for an hour. I'm like, fine, here, God.
Right.
So then we raided her
Take
channel.
the money.
Right. After Goldie was done, we raided this other lady's channel. And she was all freaking out and crying because we were all treating her so nice. It was her birthday and she's very happy. And Mel goes, yeah, Ben totally daddy gifted you this. And I'm like, don't say that. You know, it's from a place of love. Don't make it creepy.
Yeah.
Beth says, you're sleeping on the couch tonight.
Well, yeah. So I told Beth that. She's like, the first part of that story, she's like, yeah, that's sweet. Sometimes people just don't kind of, you know, just need to pull the trigger and kind of be done with it. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, and then Mel said this. It's just like, oh God, she made it creepy, didn't she? Like, yeah, she totally did. So how are you doing, James? How's Thursday night? You got the kids in bed? You and Dub gonna start watching movies? I don't know why I still have this flap over here.
Sorry, just
did that strike you as weird?
Yeah. Flap is a funny word. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. I agree.
Flap is a good word to have out there. At our latest lug meetings, I saw Ben outside tearing up thousands to taunt the poorers on the street.
Video game time. What video game? What are you playing? What's your poison?
Yeah, while I've been working on this latest video, weirdly enough, I've been on a Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2 kick.
EverQuest. Ooh, yeah. Oh, geez, nice.
Yeah, I forgot that game is just sandpaper.
What does that mean? It just rubs you the wrong way constantly?
Well, no, like it is abrasive. It's difficult.
Oh yeah.
It's
like
one of those.
WoW
tactical,
used to be.
Yeah, it's one of those, and air quotes doing work here. Tactical shooters that in the day took itself seriously. Meaning one or two like well-placed rounds will delete you.
Mm-hmm.
And for most games, that's fine, right? I can work with that. I play a lot of games that have high damage outputs like that. The asterisk is that they don't often just teleport the enemies like in front of you and give you no time to react.
Oh, my freaking studio locked up.
Oh no, everything is lost.
So that when I say Yeah. When I say abrasive, that is what I mean.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I just saved just because I was like, oh, I don't
Yeah,
want
everybody
that to happen.
save real quick.
I already
Okay,
saved.
I just saved my
As soon as
project.
you said locked up, I'm like, save.
It happens.
Oh man. So this is I don't really ever like doing this, but sometimes I kind of have to because I really need to find a piece with that color. And you do that exclude or only select pieces of that color. And so you like pick a color in your palette and say green, and then you say hide all unavailable parts. And then the software goes, oh God, I have to do work.
It's like, not again.
So it actually has to go through like 13,000 unique pieces to look for that, which is kind of impressive in two ways. 13,000 is a lot, but also I feel like 13,000 unique pieces is kind of low. Like if you think how many different molds of brick or pieces or parts or whatever has Lego made over the years? I'm sure it's in the tens of thousands. But the fact that, and not just paint jobs, but just molds, right? Or applied decals or whatever. Printed. That was a word I was looking for. I'm wondering how many they've made over the years to where Bricklink only has 13,000, and I think that's a low estimate.
Right.
Come on. It's hosed.
Oh no.
All right. Well, that was fun. I'm gonna watch you guys now.
You're like dance bitches.
I'm loving Johnny's pick a brick wall here.
I mean, it's effective.
Yeah. This is literally how I built one of my Horizon beasts. I had just like this palette full of parts just kind of hanging out going, okay, what can I put here? Now the good news is if it crashes, I can recover it. It should recover it. Hopefully from its last state and not from its last save. I'm trying to remember the last time this happened.
Its last legs.
Right. You guys, who's the British TV watchers here?
Oh, well, I haven't watched British TV in forever, but I do.
Okay,
it's been a while. I don't know. It depends on what it is.
There is a talk show. It's not really a panel show. Scott Davis, how's it going? Thanks for being here.
Hey, Scott Davis, good to see ya.
There's a show called The Last Leg, and the host literally has a prosthetic leg.
See, now that's funny.
And another one of his the guys on the panel. So it's like him talking to the camera and giving news, and he's got two comedians off to the side, kind of interjecting, and they talk about stuff. And the other guy has he was born with his hands were slightly malformed, and then I think he also has two prosthetic legs, or at least one. And then the other guy's just a dude. It's just a comedian, right? So you think it's all like the kind of the handicap comedian show or whatever, but it's just this other guy, Josh Whittacomb's just a comedian. So he did something, and it's called The Last Leg, which I think is hilarious. But that comedian that has nothing physically, different about him went to like a restaurant or something, and wherever he was, he got some special treatment, and he couldn't figure out why. And finally, the host or the lady who was helping him was like, well, but you're on that show with all the other handicapped comedians. And he's like, yeah, but I'm not handicapped. Nothing wrong with me. It's kind of funny.
All right, so how do I find out what color a piece generally is? I'm trying to find out what this
generally
color this piece is. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say what it generally is.
Yeah, it's this one right here that I'm working on.
Which one?
This one.
I mean, you can see what parts are available or what colors are available. Go up.
Yeah, I'm here.
To, right under the word color palette where it says red.
Yeah.
There's a drop down.
Right.
That's all the available part. Well, I can't really see. In the
It's
drop
showing
down,
It shows a lot of colors, and I'm going through them, and I'm looking down where it shows,
Okay,
and it
so-
shows exclamation point.
go up next to that because I can't really see your screen and mine's frozen.
Oh,
Yeah,
is there
there's
like is there a
there's a
paint
little-
roller?
There's like
Yeah.
a paint roller or a filter option.
Yeah, you
Um,
got to turn the not that one. Drop down the box again. And next to the field there, is there like a
next to the search bar.
the filter.
yeah, now turn that on.
Oh.
So you had it so it will show every color. But now
Oh, I see.
now it'll only show what colors available.
Oh wow.
So now you can see like it only comes in one
Flat
color.
silver.
There you
All
go.
right, there we go. Sweet. I knew there had to be a way. Come here. You're going up there.
All right. I am going to God, I wish this would just crash.
Finish already.
Oh no, it's done. Ooh.
Oh, good.
Oh.
It's done crashing. Yay.
Yeah. Well, I went to close it. I was like, I'm just gonna try to kill it. And then it goes, would you like to save? I'm like, I would absolutely. Wait a minute, what?
That's not what I was planning.
Yeah. Did I? Oh, well, I didn't do the hide unavailable, so I'm just gonna have to take some guesses. Because I'm not doing that again. That chewed up all my time. I feel like I'm in an Olympic sport where they're like, oh, that's gonna cost him.
I mean, it is.
Let's see if you can pull this out.
We have faith in you.
I don't think, off the top of anybody's head, are there any trans red windscreens?
Oh, I can think of a few. Yeah.
Yeah, original Space Police had a bunch of those.
Like the, well, not
They were
like
really
the-
long though. They're like
yeah, not
they're
the
like,
canopies, because I know the
Oh.
canopies are, but like these car ones.
Oh,
I mean, none so far.
No. No, I can't think of any now.
I can't think of any either.
I thought maybe with like a helicopter or something, but
Yeah, no. There.
Yeah. No,
Wasn't
because
there
they.
a couple with the Blacktron?
What's that?
Wasn't there a couple with Blacktron?
Not red
yeah,
ones.
but were they really long canopy ones, or were they like small?
Yeah, I think they were like 8 long, 6 long, something like that.
Alien Conquest says hushed.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
Oh, Arctic. That would be like orangish.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
there
were
was-
they were smaller.
there's a lot of these that were like that neon orange.
Yeah, when you originally mentioned red canopies, the old Dino series is the first thing that came to mind.
I don't think these are gonna cut
They
it.
had a couple of like Jeeps and whatnot, but I don't know if they had windscreens. I think they might have been like the open air type Jeeps.
Well, and I was kind of hoping that I could just do the limited arts, but I don't want to put my machine through that again.
Not again.
Here, I've got Studio open. I can do it.
Well, I know I've got a couple. I can just do this.
File new. Bop. Sort by color. This.
Did you all see some of the hey, do you know there's a 1x6 trans red?
1x6 trans red. I did not know that.
Yeah. So at the store, James may have seen it too. And if you've been to your store recently, they've got a lot of Dreamzzz stuff, and there's a little figure, and I forget what its name is. It's called like Glurp or Bloop or something like that. It's a little green blob, right, with eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's about like 2/3 the size of a minifig, so it's like small ghost size or something. But at the stores they have one built, and it's like 2 feet tall. Z-Blob, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Dove. They've got one built at the stores, and it's all out of trans green brick. And there's like 2 by 6 trans green bricks in it. And I'm like, oh man, I need to get one of those.
So you remember how your computer started blowing up when you tried to limit it by color?
Yeah.
What do you have to tell us?
Wait.
Everything is awful.
Wait.
Everything is awful. Everything sucks versus looking for trans red.
It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it.
You guys are like giving me bad vibes.
That was an amazing soundbite.
Little garble.
Okay, it's loaded. So, what scale of like window/windshield are you looking for?
Like this size, like 2 by 4 by 2. So like 2 by 4 front length width, and then 2 high. Just like a small 4 by car windscreen or something.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
Wait. I mean, they got some of like the. Look up 4864 Alpha. They got some of those in trans red. Or 4215 Bravo. But those are like the vertical.
Oh, yeah, those would work. I totally forgot about panels.
Yeah. So those, it says those are available.
Yeah, and those are the Space Police ones too.
Yep.
Bye, you are. Thanks for coming by. You're gonna catch some.
Bye, you are.
Perfect. Thanks, Kodiak. Appreciate.
Both my pleasure and my job.
Do you get paid for this?
Probably.
He gets all the monies.
All the money's from the honeys.
That reminded me of a very specific thing, and I'm like, I can't talk about that on stream.
I mean, you
All
could.
right, then.
I mean, I guess I have on my own channel. But fun fact about Kodiak, I used to be an escort.
Oh, okay.
I knew that. I think we talked about that. If not on stream, then at least stream adjacent.
I think it might have been on a stream. It's one of my kind of open secrets.
So, in case you didn't know,
oh, where does that go? That's right. Speaking of that, I found a friend of mine texted me and said, I just saw, and I don't know anybody's political stances at this point, but I'm going to take a leap.
Sure.
A friend of mine said, I just saw a Fox News talking head call the Democratic platform one of hot porn Planned Parenthood.
what?
And it was
That's
kind of
weird.
a parody of Beats Bears Battlestar Galactica, right? So I was like, he said that. I was like, wait, what? And I looked it up, and sure enough, somebody had said that. And I was like, that's hilarious. That's almost like, yeah, and badge of honor. Sure, why not? So he found a shirt that said, and it had like these square symbols, and it had a beat and a bear and a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica. And he's like, quick, I need a shirt like this made. And so I found a pot leaf, an 18 plus, and then the logo from Planned Parenthood, and I made that shirt. And
That's awesome.
And so I put it up on my Redbubble account, and I linked it on like Blue Sky because I'm afraid to put it on Facebook or anything else where people like actually know me. But it was like all proceeds are going to go to like Planned Parenthood, this group called the Drug Policy Group. That's basically like an advocacy. I had the word earlier. Now I can't think of it. lobbyist kind of group who tries to get decriminalization in place, especially for women, especially for people of color, reducing sentences for marijuana crimes, specifically that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then also the Red Umbrella Project, which is like kind of the same thing, safety and advocacy for sex workers. And I was like, yeah, we're, I don't need money from t-shirt sales because I'm not going to make any, but let's throw some at people who actually need it. Screw you, Fox News. Flag stuff.
I particularly, so I don't watch news, which may or may not be shocking to anyone who follows me.
It's probably for your sanity too.
It honestly,
it's actually better.
I used to listen to a radio broadcast on NPR called "Wait, Don't Tell Me."
I love that.
But even that got like too distressing for me.
Distressing how?
The world's
Too much
falling apart, man. It's a lot. Like I kind of already have to deal with enough, so to say.
Yeah.
I like soda.
And so, yeah,
You already have
some
to
of
deal
the
with 1A.
some of the current events, I'm just like, I don't want to like spiral.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that.
And like I guess to call it what it is, I already work a pretty stressful job, and having to be alert and coherent and conscious about what's going on around me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like people get desperate when times are bad, and times have been bad for a minute, and people have been desperate.
Yeah.
Thankfully, at my job, that has come in the form of people trying to break into the machines at night.
Uh-huh.
But it's only kind of a matter of time before they're trying to do it during the day.
While you're there.
Right.
Yep.
I'm taking a play from your book, Johnny.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm stealing your giant claws.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you only have like 2 minutes, so.
Oh crap! I do. Okay, so
I didn't
hi
even
Mayo,
use
how's it
those
going?
yet.
6 subscribers.
Mayo.
700. Oh, I'm only 6 subscribers away from 700. That's cool.
Sweet. How'd you get that? That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's one of those like I don't think it really matters subscriber base because it's like a weird number.
Right.
But
It's not. It's 1,000 is the next one.
well, and I don't even think anything special happens then either.
Yeah, it does. You can get into the program or whatever. Blah blah blah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like we can at 500, but we need like so many watch hours. It's insane.
Oh yeah.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
So there, I think I'm good. That's. I didn't do much with the van itself. I just did everything on the external.
All right, so yeah, let's call a pause and see where we ended up.
Ooh, Vab, hold on. Let Vab put on his thing. There we go. Ooh, he's got all the purple.
Oh, your
black.
nightmare is like clown related. I love it.
I'll zoom into his. I want to see it.
All right, so we're gonna take a look, and we'll get if you guys could like you don't have to render them, but if you want to screenshot them and send them to me. Let's get his up here. So this is Vab's. He's got like
mine.
this weird centipede lizard.
There you go.
Snapping turtle, not turtly enough for Turtle Club. Turtle.
Gosh, I hate that movie.
Oh, I've never even seen it. I've just seen that clip. Sweet. It's got a skull. Oh, there's a tile skull. I didn't know that. Got some cool exhaust rib things.
Oh no, he's literally having a Taco Tuesday night, feasting on people's bodies.
Oh my god.
He's got it going on.
Is that all like detritus coming out from his underbelly?
Yeah.
No, God. So much ick. I love it. Oh, and then there's dead people in there. Look at the good touches.
I love it.
I love that the face is scared. That's the best.
He's like, ah.
I like how we all kept a fishing pole with something on it.
Yep. Or a version of it.
A version of that. Yeah, I think that's important. I like how to get the turtle to go faster and farther, you got to put a head on it.
It's a lantern head. That's funny.
Yeah.
There you
That's
have it.
rad. All right, cool. All right, so screenshot that for me and we'll put them up.
Sweet.
Johnny, let's see what you got. You got a nightmare clown thing with lizard heads and giant feet. I love it. Those bionicle pieces work really well for that crane up top.
It does, yeah. So it's more like this is like a scorpion tail-ish type thing. Because I actually looked it up and it was like, yeah, scorpion tail. I'm like, there you go.
Yep.
He's got translucent little fangs here.
Neat. Yeah, zoom in on that head.
Yep, that's an actual bionicle head, and it actually fits.
That's cool. Yeah, this has got a real like Killer Clowns from Mars feel to it.
He's
like
got a
this could have been the vehicle they brought in. What's the tail made of?
It's a chainsaw. It's another bionicle piece.
Oh, geez, that's a giant chainsaw. And again, that's part of what we're talking about is those bionicle pieces are huge.
Mm-hmm. Yep, some of them are.
Nice. All right, and here's mine. I kind of went with the classic colors.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just kind of changed a bunch of stuff, but it's got like the teeth on the side, and then the cool feet, and its head.
Those are neat.
I didn't get a chomping head, but I want to put like a chomping head on it, and then a bunch of eyes because that's weird.
Hey, Veb, does yours still have the tires in there that you just attached to?
Yeah, I think his did.
I have tires on there.
You still do. So all three of us still kept the tires. I was like, let's
the
build
tires
around
on
this
there,
thing.
Nice.
I like it. It's so good.
I was trying to go for like a transformation type thing.
Like it was turning into something.
Yeah,
you know what it reminds me of?
Busted out of the van and everything. And
did you guys watch Shin Godzilla?
not Shin Godzilla, no.
No.
Okay, so there's you'll have to like look up clips of it because it's a kind of a long movie and it's it deals with like two different kind of paradigms in that like the transformation of a very tortured monster and the banality of like corporate bureaucracy, right? It's like
all good things, yeah.
Yeah, these two halves of the story are really weird because it's a lot of boardrooms and conference rooms,
right? And
then this giant monster. So it's like, you know, but anyway, the transformation of the monster at one point looks a lot like Bab's turtle. It's this kind of thing that's like squirming along the ground, but it's like this giant thing. It's like got these weird eyes and like blood shooting out of parts of its ribs, and it's weird as shit. But reminds me of that.
Nice.
What's the best way to take a screenshot in this? If we're not.
Do you have Windows?
Well, yeah. I didn't know if you were just taking a normal screenshot like that, or there was something within Studio.
No. Just Windows key Shift S should be fine.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can go to the search bar and do snipping tools.
Yeah, you can do snipping tools if you want.
Snipping tool is what I use. In Minecraft, obviously. I definitely do everything within fair use. Audible wink.
Nudge, nudge, snap, snap, grin, grin.
Right. All right, cool. Well, thanks for the people who are still watching.
Yeah.
I had fun doing this. We should do something like this again.
Oh, absolutely. This was really cool.
Yeah,
it was a
this
neat,
is rad.
neat
if you
idea.
guys think of another thing to do before next week, if not, I don't mind there's going to be a couple days in the next couple months where I may not be here for a Thursday thing, so we may have to skip, but
no worries.
next week I think is fine, so we should be all right. But yeah, so look for all these. We'll put up a vote on the community tab, and we'll see who thinks they're, is the best. I encourage you to vote for your own. Also, no touching after this point. If you get the screenshot and then do what you want with it, but at least get a screenshot where we have it now.
Yeah,
and then play with it later. So
yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody for being here, and I will talk to you all soon.
Excellent. See ya.